What is going on Capitol Hill? We've been hearing a lot of back and forth. Who's in charge? What's the problem? By the way, a lot of people don't want any of this to pass, okay? But it does seem on the same page as far as the Democratic Party.
Well, I would agree with you absolutely, Bob. Heather, thank you for having me. Right now, it's a big question mark as to what's going on Capitol Hill. You know, there's talk that Nancy Pelosi will bring this bill to the House floor and dare the progressives to vote against it. Just leave it open and see what happens. You know, that's pretty risky for her. It's a good question as to who's really in charge. Is it Speaker Pelosi, you know, or is it Chairman Jayapal? You know, I think the Democrats are in disarray. Obviously, President Biden came to try and smooth things over, and that didn't work very well. He wasn't obviously very convincing. Somebody whose approval rating is under 40%. Doesn't have a whole lot of sway, especially with the Progressive Caucus. So right now, it's just a big question mark here on Capitol Hill. And I personally hope that the progressives stay strong in their stance and this thing fails, because this is not good for the country.
Yeah,
not in any shape.
Let's take a look at the list of President Biden's promises that have been removed from the spending package, or at least the framework, so to speak. Tuition-free community college, paid family and medical leave, dental, vision, Medicare expansion, that tax on billionaire income we talked a lot about, investments in child nutrition, lower prescription drug prices as well. But there's still a lot from the social agenda that is still in there, right?
Oh, yes. I think we still have taxes in there, and lots of taxes in there. And then we have an increase, a doubling of the size of the Internal Revenue Service. My word, if that's not a wake-up call for America, what is? That is something we absolutely cannot allow to happen. Otherwise, Americans will have the Internal Revenue Service spying on about everything they're doing. Any person that spends more than $28 a day, accumulates over $10,000 in expenditures a year, would be subject to the spying of the IRS, and that's absolutely unacceptable.
Like if there's $10,000 that goes into your account that's not wage related, wherever they really want to know where that came from. There's also an infrastructure package sitting up there that probably could have been passed some time ago. What's your position on that?
Well, you know, this infrastructure package is 9% infrastructure. So I don't know how we really call a bill infrastructure that is only 9% infrastructure. $110 billion out of $1.2 trillion. The rest of it is social spending. It's a social, it's big government socialism is what this bill is. So I would absolutely oppose this bill, and I would hope everyone else would too. We are a free market capitalist country. We are not big government socialism. And so this bill takes us down that path, and it is bad for America.
Yeah, and included in this new reconciliation of the $1.75 trillion, I think is what they're saying now. That includes tax breaks, because you were talking about tax breaks, but only for those companies and consumers that install solar panels and trend toward what they consider clean energy initiatives.
Oh, yes. What's in this bill is just terrible for the American people. You know, I go back to the Internal Revenue Service and their ability to absolutely audit everybody that they want to audit. Yep. It's a really scary thing. Even talking to some Democrats in the elevator, they were like, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's $600, $10,000, $100,000, or $1 million, whatever threshold it is. Once the policies are put in place, they can just change the numbers.
And
this is bad for America.
You spoke about that. You actually spoke about that and how it impacted you and your small business.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the Internal Revenue Service back in 2013 came in and seized $940,000 from me, you know, unlawfully, and I took them to court. We got it back, but it cost me $150,000. Wow. You know, there's not a whole lot of people that can defend themselves and spend $150,000 doing it. You know, this is going to affect all Americans, and the vast majority of them will not be able to defend themselves against the IRS.
Out of curiosity, was that an LLC or an S Corp or what?
No, it's an S Corp.
Okay, just curious, because there are a lot of people out there with small businesses, you know. 40% of our country is small business. So Thank you so
Small
much.
business is the backbone of America.
That's right.
Thank you.
Congressman.
Thanks for joining us.